Did you know that some of Jesus' simplest stories carry the most profound messages? Today, we're diving into the parables of Jesus, stories that weren't just relevant 2,000 years ago, but speak directly to the challenges we face today. Stick around, and by the end of this video, you'll see how these ancient stories can transform the way we live and interact with the world around us. Let's start with one of the most well-known parables, the Good Samaritan. On the surface, it's a story about helping someone in need, but the deeper context makes it radical for its time. In Jesus' day, Jews and Samaritans despised each other. They wouldn't even speak to one another, let alone help each other. So when Jesus tells the story of a man beaten and left for dead on the road, with a priest and a Levite passing him by, everyone listening probably expected the hero to be another respected Jewish figure. Instead, Jesus shocks them by making the Samaritan the hero, the one who stops, cares for the man, and pays for his recovery. This wasn't just a story about kindness. It was Jesus' way of saying that love has no boundaries. It was a direct challenge to the prejudices of the time. And even today, it's a reminder to break down barriers, whether they're racial, cultural, or social, and care for everyone, regardless of who they are. Today, the Good Samaritan parable challenges us to confront the prejudices in our own communities. Are we willing to reach out to those who are different from us? How can we create a world where compassion is extended to everyone, especially the most marginalized? Now let's look at the prodigal son. This is a story of forgiveness, but it's also much more than that. In the culture of Jesus' time, for a son to demand his inheritance early was the ultimate insult. It was like wishing his father dead. The son then goes off, squanders the money, and hits rock bottom. When he finally returns home, broken and ashamed, you'd expect the father to reject him, or at least give him a hard time. But what does the father do? He runs to his son, embraces him, and throws a party to celebrate his return. This would have been shocking to Jesus' audience. The father's behavior was radical, almost reckless in its love and forgiveness. The message here is that no one is beyond redemption. No matter how far we stray, God is always ready to welcome us back with open arms. Think about the relationships in your own life. Who do you need to forgive? The prodigal son parable challenges us to practice radical forgiveness, not because it's easy, but because it's what creates healing and restoration in our relationships and communities. Next, we have the parable of the mustard seed. Jesus says the kingdom of God is like a mustard seed, tiny at first, but when it grows, it becomes the largest of all garden plants. This parable is a lesson in small beginnings. In Jesus' time, people expected the Messiah to bring God's kingdom with a bang, to overthrow governments and set up a physical kingdom. But Jesus taught that God's kingdom starts small, often unnoticed, but grows into something huge and transformative. In today's world, where we often want immediate results, this parable reminds us that lasting change doesn't happen overnight. Whether it's personal growth, community building, or social justice work, small acts of kindness and faith can have a massive impact over time. What mustard seed are you planting today? Now let's talk about the parable of the rich fool. A man stores up wealth for himself, thinking he's set for life. But that very night, his life is demanded of him, and Jesus asks the piercing question, what good is wealth when you're not rich toward God? This parable is a challenge to the materialism that's rampant in every age. The man's mistake wasn't in being wealthy, it was in placing his security in his wealth, rather than in his relationship with God and others. In today's culture, where success is often measured by how much you own, this parable asks us, what are you building your life on? Are you focused on accumulating things, or are you investing in what truly lasts, your relationships, your faith, your community? So, why do these parables still matter? Because the challenges they address, prejudice, forgiveness, growth, and materialism, are as real today as they were 2,000 years ago. Jesus used simple stories to deliver profound lessons that cut straight to the heart of human nature. These parables invite us to see the world differently, to look beyond our own prejudices, to practice forgiveness, to believe in the power of small beginnings, and to find true security in something greater than wealth. So, what about you? How do these parables speak to the challenges you face today? Which story resonates with you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need a reminder of these timeless lessons. Let's keep the conversation going. How can we live out these parables in today's world?